Currently 9:55. We are on our way to our midwife appointment. I'm currently 36 weeks and 3 days, I think. Yeah, 3 days, right? Yeah, so today's appointment is going to be interesting because I have to do my Group B Strep Swab. I've seen people say different things online. I've seen some people say that they swab both holes, both the vagina and the anus. I'm not sure. Some people say that they go inside, some people say that they don't. I don't know. We'll see. I'll let you guys know. But other than that, nothing really else I think at this appointment. I just have to bring up that 2 nights ago I had really bad pain. It was like a weird type of pain. It was almost like I was getting Charlie horses in my stomach. And it happened like 3 or 4 times during the night, so that wasn't fun. It didn't happen last night, which is good. I'm assuming I was just dehydrated, but should also just bring it up just in case. I'm not sure if they're going to do a cervical check on me, just because I think they only start doing that 37 weeks and onward, or maybe even 38. I don't know. I'll let them know that I've been super uncomfortable and there's been a lot of pressure. So we'll see. Maybe they'll just tell me it's normal. I'm excited to see what my fondle height is, just because last time we went I was measuring a week and a half ahead, which obviously probably doesn't mean much, just because it's just a fundal height check. It's not like they're actually looking at the baby and the growth of the baby. Are you excited?
For your anal swab? Sure.
Gross.
Sure.
No, he can't even go inside. He hasn't gone to any appointments at all throughout this entire pregnancy, so he's just gonna be waiting in the parking lot.
Hey guys, how's it going? So I really don't talk that much in her videos, but I just wanted to provide you guys a small update because we are now here and she is not. She went inside already. The front doors are like over there-ish. I can't really, yeah, over there. But yeah, we just got here 5 minutes early. She kind of was a little bit, I guess, nervous, and she seemed like she was ready, but just a little bit hesitant to leave the car. Just breathing a little heavy, and yeah, I guess just the nerves and stuff. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what the results are. She shouldn't take long. Usually her appointments are like around 15-20 minutes, I want to say. So yeah, she'll probably film after to give a little bit of an update on the whole process, what the results were, maybe. I'm not too sure, depending on what they are. And then I think she mentioned she wanted to check the fondle height or whatever. I don't know exactly what the term is, but I heard something along the lines of fondle. So yeah, that, and then something along the lines of like cervical length, or I don't even know. I don't know, don't quote me on it. But yeah, so since I can't go out into the room, I'm just staying in the car waiting like I usually do. But yeah, she'll give an update later.
So I just got out of my appointment. Honestly, one of the longer appointments. What time is it?
It's currently 10:53.
Yeah, I went in at like 10:15. But did a lot, talked about a lot. Honestly, if you ever are looking for a midwife, Christy at, oh my god, what are they called?
Midwifery Dawn River, I think. Let me double check.
I always forget their name. It's like North Dawn Valley.
North Dawn River Valley.
North Dawn River Valley Midwives.
Midwifery Care.
Midwifery Care. Christy is the best. You get 3 midwives in your rotation, but my favorite's Christy. Anyways, I asked her about the ultrasound that we had at 32 weeks. Pretty much.
A long time ago.
Yes, a long time ago. Pretty much, our baby was showing signs of pelviectasis, which has to do with the kidneys. And they were just keeping an eye on the size of the pelvis at the bottom of the kidneys. And she said everything came back normal, so there's no need for a follow-up for that.
Okay, so we'll take a look at that.
Yeah, so this piece of paper with some information about labor and like stuff to look out for, and when to page, when not to page. It's interesting. So she is recommending I start taking Gravel and Tylenol.
No?
Whenever I feel crampy. It'll just help me relax, and she said it's a good indication for if the Gravel and Tylenol are not working, that means I am in labor. So that's good, because one of my concerns is that because I had PCOS and I know what bad cramps are like, I'm scared I'm just not gonna know I'm in labor. Yeah. So she said that if you take the Tylenol, you take Gravel, and you're still in pain, typically that's a sign that you are either at the beginning of labor or you are in labor. And she recommended that I drink red raspberry leaf tea, which I've already been doing. I don't want to say, but yeah.
You don't want to say it?
Yeah.
Why?
Because she's like, oh, typically, yeah, you start at 37 weeks. It's like you don't want your uterus contracting before that. And I was like, oh, but like the thing is, my uterus was already contracting before I started the raspberry leaf tea, so I don't know if it would have made a difference starting later. She recommended 2 cups a day. I typically only drink 1, so I can up that. I've been using the Earth Mama. I started with the raspberry leaf tea, just like the regular raspberry leaf tea, and then I bought some 3rd trimester tea, I think it's called.
Yes, yeah.
It has some red raspberry leaf in there, and it also has stinging nettle and mint, I believe, which is also said to be good for your uterus. And she also recommended evening primrose oil. So fun fact about evening primrose oil, I was doing research before I got pregnant, like a year or 2 before I got pregnant, and I was having a really bad PCOS, and I got off of birth control because I got sick and I just didn't want to be on hormones anymore, because I felt like it might have been the reason why I was having all these weird symptoms. So I got off of birth control, but obviously my periods were super irregular and super painful, so I was trying to look up more natural ways of handling PCOS, and I read somewhere about evening primrose oil. So I was taking that religiously for, I want to say 2 years before I got pregnant. I don't want to attribute it to how I got pregnant, but I don't know. She recommended taking evening primrose oil. She said you can either do 1 capsule or tablet through the mouth, and then 1 inserted into the vagina, or if you're not comfortable with that, then you can just take 2 through the mouth. So we'll see how I feel inserting it. We also talked about shots or like interventions they do for when the baby's born. So we already pretty much know about this because we did our labor and delivery class, which I'm grateful for. I'm so out of breath.
Okay, take your time.
So we talked about the vitamin K shot, which we decided we were going to do, right? Yep. Yeah, the vitamin K shot, which is to help baby with clotting, because they are not born with a lot of clotting factors. So it's just like a boost for them. And that is a shot that goes in their thigh. And then you have the option of doing erythromycin, which is an ointment for the eyes. Typically it's only done for, she was giving me a lot of fun facts, it was fun. She said pretty much it originated in the 1800s because babies were born blind and they didn't know why. And they were doing tests and they found out that because a lot of these women were infected with, I believe it's gonorrhea and chlamydia, these babies were being born blind. So for a while it was mandated that your baby had to get this ointment, which is, she said it's kind of like Vaseline that they put around the eyes, but it's not very comfortable for babies. You're pretty much only high risk if you have tested positive for gonorrhea or chlamydia, which I have not. If you have multiple partners, which I do not. And if you work in like the sex work industry, which I do not. I said it's obviously optional. And I asked just to double check, I was like, is there any like benefit for me doing it, even if I am low risk and have not tested positive? And she said some people just feel comfortable doing it because it's an antibiotic, so it protects the baby in some way. But the thing is, when you use antibiotics unnecessarily, the effectiveness of the antibiotics goes lower because you become more immune to them. So I am leaning towards not doing it. They do 2 blood pricks on the baby's heel when they're born, to test for I think she said metabolic and, oh god, what did she say?
Reason why voice memos are good.
Metabolic and endocrine. I think endocrine. They test for specific conditions that the naked eye can't see pretty much when your baby is born. Your baby can look super healthy, seem super healthy, but obviously internally there might be something wrong. So they do a blood prick at their heel and they send it off to Ottawa because that's the only place apparently in Ontario that handles these tests. And then if something happens, then they call me. Then she did the physical check of my bump and did the fundal measure, and I'm measuring normal.
So last time we were here, they said you were measuring a week.
Yeah, I was measuring a week and a half ahead. But obviously it can be off.
Yeah.
Because pretty much what they do is they measure from your pelvic. They go near your pelvis, and they measure the top of your bump, so the top of your uterus, the fundus, and how many centimeters that is coincides with how many weeks you are, give or take. I think 1 or 2 centimeters, I think.
Okay.
So obviously it's not going to be as accurate as an ultrasound, but she said I was measuring at 36, which is what I am. She had to do my blood pressure twice.
Why is that?
First time she did it over my sweater, and I'm wearing a really chunky knit sweater, and it was measuring really high, which is really abnormal for me because my blood pressure is always very normal. Like, it doesn't vary at all. So then she made me lie down, and then it was normal. So I don't know what happened there. And then she checked the baby's heart rate, and she said it's normal. Super active baby. The heart, where she was listening for the heartbeat, is a little bit higher than she wanted it to be. So she actually wrote me a requisition to do an ultrasound.
Another one?
Another one.
What the heck?
Yeah, because she said she's like 70% confident that is head down and in the proper position.
Just wants to make
sure. But she just wants to make sure because she's like, sometimes, you know, we can assume, but then when it comes time for labor and the baby's breech, you know, stuff can go down. We want this to be as normal of a labor as possible. So she said just to triple check positioning.
This is like 6 tuple.
I know, we've had a lot of ultrasounds. My family's not going to be happy. I don't know about everyone else's family, but Filipinos are just like so paranoid about everything. To be fair, for normal pregnancies, typically people have like 1 or 2 ultrasounds in their entire pregnancy, and I've had like 7 or 8 at this point. So I mean, I'm not too bothered by it. It's also just nice to see baby again, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Also, I found out something interesting.
What?
I'm expecting like a 6-pound baby.
Okay.
6-7 pound baby.
Which is what I was like around, I was like upper 6 pounds, so like maybe 6.8, something like that when I was born.
The last finale, the finale of this appointment, I did my Group B Strep Swab, And I was pleasantly surprised because I did the swab myself. I have yet to show my bits to my midwives, which is so weird to think about, because maybe the first time they see my bits, it might be when I'm in labor. Super easy swab. She literally just gave me the swab. I'll insert a picture of what the swab looks like. Anybody obviously who's in the medical field should know it's just like an anal, like a vaginal anal swab.
Yeah.
It looks similar to, if you work in a hospital, it looks similar to a C. diff or MRSA swab. You pretty much just take it, you insert about an inch into your vagina, swirl it around, then you go back to the perineum, and then you don't insert it into the anus, you just put the little tip around the anus. And that's it.
Oh, you don't insert?
No, she's literally just like, just put the tip. What I will say, the only part that was uncomfortable is obviously doing it yourself. When you're this big, it's hard to bend, it's hard to reach all the places. So you really got to do like acrobatics in the washroom. Highly recommend, if you're looking for a midwife, to contact this place if you are within the jurisdiction. I don't know the boundaries of where they serve. It's in North York, Toronto, if anybody's looking. Yeah, highly recommend. Okay, well, we're gonna go do some errands. Bye!